Hi everyone. So I realized that after the Tuesday's message, after recommending the Hematite and the Carnelian, I never really talked about how crystals became a part of my life personally. And it wasn't anything crazy or dramatic like that, very unintentional. And it started through my workplace. So I was talking to one of my coworkers at the time, someone who I deeply consider part of my family. We were getting into this discussion about work and the woes of work, all the things that stress you out, that kind of thing. And so she kind of shared with me something that helps her keep her grounded. And she was wearing this howlite bracelet. And I noticed it, and I noticed she was wearing this bracelet for a while, just didn't even know what it was. I thought it was just some decorative jewelry she was wearing. But then she shared with me, like, no, this is a crystal, and I reach for this anytime that I feel emotionally charged, stressed out at work for dealing with different people, whoever it is I'm working with, that this keeps me grounded and sane and mellow. And so I was like, oh, okay. And we got into this deeper conversation, and she was sharing more with me. And then all of a sudden she pulled out all these other crystals, like, yeah, I got more, girl. I was like, wait a minute, whoa. But my natural inquisitiveness just allowed me to dig in deeper. And the more that I was learning, the deeper that instant connection kicked in. And so that led for me to dive into crystals myself. And the more that I learned about them, the less it became about aesthetics, the less about pretty rocks and more about intention. And it's a great reminder of something to reach for whenever you need a reminder to stay yourself, to stay grounded, to stay confident, to stay emotionally balanced, to stay protected, right? And I recommended the Carnelian and the Hematite for a specific person whose energy I was really feeling into. And, sometimes in life, as we move through things and seasons, certain energies just feel aligned in the moment, right? So when I think about Carnelian, I think about the internal flames being set ablaze. I think about ambition, and the Carnelian works with the sacral chakra. If you guys are working with those, Carnelian is great for motivation, creativity, staying the path of whatever you committed yourself to, whether internal, external, you know what I mean? It gives you the confidence and the inner confidence to work with whatever you're setting your path towards. And Hematite, great for your root chakra, great for that security, that groundedness, and for protection as well, right? When things feel all hella chaotic, and whether mentally or emotionally, whether you're dealing with other people, even if you haven't been working with crystals and you're just now seeing this video and you're getting curious, I recommend just looking more into hematite. And it's a great stone to reach for, especially if you're working in an environment where you're dealing with a lot of toxicity or just high energy people, and kind of for yourself if you feel tempted to crash out maybe multiple times a day. This is a great stone to keep you centered and balanced. But it wasn't anything I was looking for, and it found me. And so right now I am traveling, and so these are the crystals that I am working with right now that I felt called to reach for. I have with me Amethyst, and this is a great stone to reach for, one of the master stones. This is for your anxiety, keeping you calm, level-headed, to eliminate stress. I have my rose quartz, petrified wood, and the selenite. All stones to keep you grounded and calm and remind you that you matter and you need to pour into yourself, and self-care matters. So that's kind of how I got into this, and it's become a part of my daily practice. And if you work with crystals, let me know. And if you're not working with crystals and want to jump into crystals, let me know which ones you kind of feel called to. Generally interested, so leave me a comment below. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.